How's everyone doing out there? Welcome to a impromptu Major League A-Holes in the Hole, a word media presentation. Smitty is on vacation, but I felt it was important to come on and at least talk about, for a few minutes, the trades that have been taking place, because by the time Smitty gets back and I get back again, these are going to be old. It's going to be old news. We can still talk about it, but I just want to give my thoughts. I want to wish Smitty a happy vacation, a much needed vacation. He's the major production behind all of this stuff, so this is not going to be some slick video. This is going to be me talking quick and fast. So, uh, being a Giants and White Sox fan, I'm in a really good mood after the trades that were made. First off, I want to start off with the Giants. They got Kris Bryant from the Cubs for two single A prospects. So not sure why the Jed Hoyer shot so low with such a commodity, especially when Bryant's numbers away from Wrigley are so much better than they are at Wrigley. But okay, if that's what you wanted to trade for him, that's cool. The Giants already were leading the NL in homers, and Kris Bryant debuted with a homer. Um, which is interesting because the Cubs players created some sort of history there where they are the only team who traded away three position players, and all three position players hit a home run in their debut. So interesting that happened. Um, so just kind of crazy. Rizzo, who went to the Yankees, I'm gonna slide right into the Cubs now, uh, for again not like top 10 prospects. So and as Smitty and I discussed before he left for vacation was it's all subjective. So who knows how they're really going to pan out, but. For the Cubs, who seem to be in the driver's seat on this, I feel like Jed Hoyer swung and missed on a few. I would say he swung and missed on Bryant, especially since earlier the talks were they were going to get Joey Bart, the heir apparent um, uh, to Buster Posey. So that the Giants' plans are not screwed up at all. And who knows? Maybe the Giants sign Bryant. They've got the money to do it. And wow, well, look at that. That would be just that would kind of solidify them offensively. Moving forward, it'd be pitching where they'd have to fix some things in the not too distant future. Um, Then Baez, I would say the two best trades that Hoyer did pull off were Baez, who went to the Mets for. Now this guy is a first round pick. He's projected to be uh, a stud outfielder. Um, he throws left handed. He's considered an elite defender. His last name is it's actually hyphenated. It's Crow Armstrong. Um, he's out of high school, so we're not talking about someone who's gonna. He's probably another 3 4 years away. He is sidelined with a right shoulder injury, which leads into my next big trade, which I didn't think would even happen, but somehow the Sox, after doing a trading Bailey Horn, a fifth round pick to the Cubs for Tapera out of nowhere. They come in and get Kimbrell for what was probably surprising to a lot of fans, Nick Madrigal, who is injured but projected to come back at the start of 2022 spring training, and Codi Heuer, who's pitched in one game already for the Cubs, and it was a scoreless inning. So, with the Sox trade with Kimbrell, the Cubs did get some major league ready talent and controllable talent for years to come. Hoyer and Madrigal both debuted last year in the COVID season, so you wonder if they would have even made their debut last year or not if it were not for COVID. But overall, like I would say, I give Hoyer a C right now. but in 3 to 4 years, I might be giving Heuer a, depending on how some of these these mid and high A prospects pan out. We're not going to really know the ramifications of this trade, except for years to come. So they may have been great trades that we just don't see right now. But again, I give him he definitely gets an A for the. I like what he did with the bias trade. Getting again, we're not going to see this kid for a little bit, but the way he's graded out is big for Crow Armstrong, and then getting some major league ready guys that he can use next year in Madrigal, who is something that the Cubs kind of lack. He's kind of like that. He's a pure hitter. He's not going to take a ton of walks, but he's going to bat over 300 and get on base a lot. So he may be a leadoff guy for the Cubs next year. I always could see Nicky in a leadoff spot. He's kind of like Anderson in that they don't walk a lot, but they have this ability to get the barrel to the bat and put the ball in play for hits, which is a rare commodity these days. Um, so that pretty much covers it. Except I just wanted to comment on the Tigers. They had some. I know El Avila came out and said that he was going to go ahead. He was. They're not going to be sellers. They're not going to be a triple A farm system for other teams. But really, it, he stuck to that, but you wonder why he wasn't able to get a trade done for Jonathan Schoop, unless the idea is they are going to sign him next year. Because if they don't sign him, it's going to be a real loss, an opportunity loss to not have traded him at the deadline. Um, with the Sox getting Cesar Hernandez, I can only imagine that Scope's asking price must have been much higher than what little the Sox had to give up for Hernandez. Um, but Scope had a little bit more upside. I mean, I wouldn't say a ton, although there's there's like I think the WAR's almost a point higher for Scope, so that would say there was definitely an upside there. And I'm saying there's not. I'm not saying there's not. I wouldn't have been overwhelmed by either. But then you got to just real quick back to the White Sox. Like they obviously didn't know they were trading Madrigal, or you know because like you wonder why they didn't go harder at Adam Frazier with Madrigal being gone now, because then they could have locked him up as their starting second baseman. So obviously second base is going to be for a hole for the Sox to fill next year. We'll see how that is filled. Um, but back to the Tigers, I mean, they did trade Daniel Norris for Reese Olson, a 20-year-old high A pitcher prospect. On the surface, if you look at his numbers, you say not a big deal, but there's two intriguing numbers that is probably why the Tigers traded for him. He's got a 10.3 strikeouts per nine. I would say that's pretty good, and he's only got a point 0.7 home run per nine. So even though his like ERA is kind of high right now, he's obviously got the potential to be another stud pitcher that the Tigers seem to have a slew of right now. And let's be honest, the White Sox have survived with not a very high home run total up to this date in the AL, near the bottom, because of great pitching that they've gotten. So and playing in a crappy division. But those two things added together, when they beat some of the quality teams at home, not on the road, but at home, they it was due to quality pitching. And the Tigers have that, and the Tigers have some pop coming up too through their organization. So, maybe El Avila was right in not just to trade, but at the same time, you would have thought you could have swung something semi decent for Scope. So to me, that's the only miss, because other guys that they could have traded have been injured this year. And El Avila spoke about that to the Detroit Free Press. So, long story short, I'm a little surprised. That's the only thing of the teams we cover here. We covered the major A's trades before going on before Smitty left for vacation, but um, I would say the only thing that was a real head scratcher was the Tigers not being more active at the trade deadline. So that's all I got today. Just wanted to kind of do that as a bridge until we come back the another week plus from now. We'll be back with a full show, and my partner will be here. And until then, peace.